Hi everyone, thanks very much for joining me. Well, it's a sunny day, I can't stay indoors, so I've managed to get outside and find this quiet space. I've got my fluffy thing here on my microphone to stop the wind disturbance, hopefully. But yeah, the film I want to talk about today, it's a new discovery for me, but it's from 1964. It's a British movie. I really should have discovered it well before now. But wow, this has gone straight into my favourites list. The film I'm talking about today is this one, The System, 1964, directed by Michael Winner, and it was his first collaboration with the great Oliver Reed. So, what is important about this film? Well, The System, first of all, let's just get into the story. The story basically is filmed on the Devonshire coast. It's actually filmed in Paignton, and Oliver Reed plays a tourist photographer. So he's there to capture all the tourists who come to the seaside for their holidays, and he has a system of working, which means that he takes photographs of all the pretty girls that come to the seaside resort, and then he gets their addresses, their hotel accommodations addresses, so that he can supposedly deliver the photos to them. But then those addresses obviously get shared around his mates, and they all then see if they can romance these girls and woo them and just have a good time partying and having summer fun. Now, what I really love about this film is its sense of the 60s. This is swinging 60s. It's filmed in a hustling and bustling Paignton in Devon, and you really get that fantastic sense of the seaside town. There's loads of crowd scenes, loads of people on the beach, loads of people just enjoying themselves, and that's all just brought into the movie. Oliver Reed here is absolutely at his best. He's such a charming role. He does every kind of nuance in his character here. We've got playful Oliver Reed, we've got hell-raising Oliver Reed, we've got sensitive Oliver Reed. Yeah, his character here is really interesting. He goes through a bit of a story arc here as he gets involved with trying to romance a very high-class London girl who's really just killing some time down there on the seaside before heading off abroad. But yeah, it's just a great movie. Now, a few interesting things about this. I mean, this is directed by Michael Winner. Now, normally speaking, Michael Winner, when I was growing up, he was a bit of a, I don't know, not exactly a laughing stock, but he wasn't the most well-respected director. He was very self-promoting, always dressed in sort of big fur coats and smoking big cigars. Oliver Reed, also when I was growing up, was perhaps most well known for his drunken appearances on chat shows. So yeah, although they've both been involved in good movies, their reputations really at the time when I was growing up were waning. But yeah, this is the best film I have seen from Michael Winner. Now, I've always had a soft spot for Hannibal Brooks, which is a film that Michael Winner made with Oliver Reed in 1969. But this absolutely is the best film that they have made together. Now, a part of the reason why it's so great is that whilst Michael Winner is the director of this movie, his cinematographer on this is none other than Nicolas Roeg. So yes, Nicolas Roeg, who then went on to direct himself, doing movies such as The Man Who Fell to Earth, Walkabout, Don't Look Now. Hugely talented director, and it becomes very clear from listening to the commentary that's on here from co-star Jane Merrow that really Nicolas Roeg was involved a lot in this production, and that Michael Winner was happy to lean on his comments and direction for how to do shots. And Nicolas Roeg's cinematography in this is outstanding. There's some inventive shots, there's some beautiful sort of close-ups. He really gets the characters, he really gets the location, and yeah, there's a lot of inventiveness there, and it's just a beautiful film to look at. Now, another significant thing here is the co-star Jane Merrow. Now, she wasn't the first choice for this film. In fact, that was actually Julie Christie who they wanted for this film, but she wasn't available. But Jane Merrow really deserves a special mention in this film. She gives a really good performance in this, but there's really one moment in the film that is very, very key as to why she deserves this special recognition. So a quick spoiler here. I am going to give a bit of a spoiler alert. Okay, here we go. So towards the end of the movie, there's a scene where Oliver Reed is having a sort of confrontation, if you like, with Jane Merrow's character about their time together and how things are going to be going forward. And it's a pretty strong scene and quite an emotional one, and it involves Oliver Reed's character giving Jane Merrow's character a slap. And when I watched that in the movie, it was really quite a shocking moment, and it certainly looked incredibly realistic. Now, when I came to listen to the interview with Jane Merrow in the extras on this, she actually acknowledged that when they were shooting that scene, Michael Winner actually just insisted that Oliver Reed physically slap her as hard as he could. Really quite a cruel instruction to give. Now, first of all, Oliver Reed, it seems, went to sort of feign a slap, but Michael Winner carried on insisting that no, it had to be a genuine hard slap, and Jane Merrow agreed to it, and Oliver Reed did it. And wow, it's a really brutal moment in the film, and I mean, for that reason alone, like I say, Jane Merrow really deserves recognition for going through that. I mean, it's a nasty thing to happen. Apparently she says that the crew were really angry with Michael Winner for prompting that moment. I mean, surely a talented director would be able to find other ways of handling that scene without resorting to that. So yeah, in that respect, not good for Michael Winner, but nonetheless, I mean, the film, like I say, has some really, really fine performances, and it's absolutely worth your time. Other characters who are in this film include character actors such as David Hemmings, John Alderton, Harry Andrews is in this, and a young Derek Nimmo as well. But yeah, all of these people, it's good to see them. Music wise as well, you've got a theme song here that's done by the Searchers, which is very jaunty, and there's a few other musical numbers that feature in the film as well. But yeah, I absolutely adored this film. I really think that it gets across a lot of what English seaside life is like. Now, I've lived in seaside towns myself in England, and there's definitely that element of you rely on the tourism in the summer months, and then in the winter months things can get really quiet, and there's no sort of formal businesses that are in these seaside towns, so it's very much reliant on the tourist trade, and this film really exaggerates that point, so yeah, it's a precious time here for the guys just to be playful and try and romance the girls, but equally they're trying to just keep the local women warm for the winter, if you like, so that when all the beautiful women have gone, they can still return to the women who are available to them in the town. Pretty cruel and nasty, but yeah, it's definitely recognizable, I would say. So yeah, a product of its time. It's the swinging 60s, but yeah, Nicolas Roeg's cinematography definitely gives this the sort of French New Wave kind of crossover element. So yeah, fantastic cinematography, really great cast. The script is by Peter Draper, and it's a really strong script. Now, he went on to write the next script as well for Michael Winner and Oliver Reed, which is I'll Never Forget What's His Name. Now, I haven't seen that film yet, but I definitely want to now, on the strength of having seen this. So yes, those are my brief thoughts on The System. I hugely recommend this film. It is available through Kino Lorber, and it's a magnificent film. Like I say, it's definitely gone into my favourites list. I think it's hugely significant British film, and wow, I mean, to have Nicolas Roeg involved in this at an early time in his career, and clearly demonstrating his skills at such an early age, it's quite magnificent to see. And like I say, Oliver Reed is just superb in this. You really get a strong sense of all sides of Oliver Reed's character here, how he can be playful, how he can put on voices, how he can be quite aggressive at times as well, and but charming and sensitive. So yeah, it's just a really, really excellent performance from Oliver Reed. But great cast all around, great movie, a must see. Okay, the wind's picking up. I hope this is recorded okay. I will sign off now. Please join me again for some more videos. All the best to you. Bye bye.